G'day, it's Matt from the Newlon Garage and I'm here to run you through the correct way to change the oil in your vehicle. Now, regularly changing your vehicle's engine oil is essential for your engine's performance, efficiency and longevity. It's also one of the more straightforward auto DIY jobs you can undertake. So I'll run you through the steps and give you some handy tips and tricks to make sure you do it correctly. Now, before starting an oil change, it's important to make sure you have all the tools and equipment that you're going to need. Not having all that stuff ready to go is going to make it more frustrating and difficult than it needs to be. Socket or spanner set with the correct size for the sump plug, oil filter removal tool, oil catch pan that holds enough oil to suit your car, bag of rags to clean up any spills or drops, jack and jack stands or car ramp, engine oil flush treatment, the correct engine filter and engine oil for your car based on the Newlon Lube Guide. The first step is an engine oil flush. Now we recommend an engine oil flush at every service. Newlon Pro Strength Engine Oil Flush is designed to remove dirt, sludge, varnish and contamination from your engine. Think of this step as giving your engine a good bath. You simply add the flush to your engine oil and run the car for the time instructed based on which flush you use. You will be shocked at the gunk that comes out with your oil after a flush. It will improve engine performance and protection over the life of your engine by providing a cleaner environment for the new oil. Now, a common mistake people make when they change the oil themselves is to raise the car too high. Now, you need the car to be high enough for you to work under, but if the front of the car is elevated too much, a lot of that old degraded oil will stay in the back of the engine, losing all the advantages of putting new oil into your engine. One tip is to raise the car on the side that allows the sump drain to be the lowest point. Remember to use the correct points to jack up the car. Look at the handbook if you need help finding where these are. After completing the engine flush and letting the engine cool down enough, use a socket or a spanner to turn the sump plug anti-clockwise to loosen it. Remove the oil cap located at the top of the motor to help the engine drain easier. Now remove the sump plug with the drain pan underneath to catch the oil. Ensure you catch the sump plug before it falls into the pan. It's helpful to put pressure on the back of the sump plug with your finger until it's entirely undone. This way you can control when the oil starts flowing and avoid dropping the plug into the oil pan. Finding the oil filter is usually easy. Accessing it, well, that's another story. That's where a filter removal tool comes in handy, as most oil filters are too tight or too awkward to undo by hand. To remove the filter, turn it anti-clockwise, making sure you remove the rubber gasket ring with the filter. If this filter seal is not removed, you cannot make a seal with the new filter and an oil leak will result. Before fitting the new filter, fill it halfway with fresh oil, then apply some oil to the seal. This creates a firm connection between the filter and block, which will shorten your car's time to regain safe oil pressure. Once this is done, tighten the oil filter by hand until tight, then clean the surrounding area with a rag. Once the oil is fully drained from the car, we can replace the sump plug and refill it. Now, a handy tip is to purchase a magnetic sump plug. They're inexpensive and attract any metal filings that may be suspended in your engine oil. To replace the sump plug, begin by tightening it with your fingers to avoid cross-threading it, and finish it with the same socket you used to remove it. Now, it's always interesting to see how much oil your car uses by comparing what came out to how much goes in. Now, refer to your owner's manual to your capacity and be careful not to overfill, as this can damage some engines and cause a lot of smoke to blow out your exhaust. A tip with this is to use a funnel to ensure you don't spill any oil in or around the exhaust, as this can cause a fire hazard. Another handy tip is to initially underfill by 500 mils before moving on to checking your oil level and topping up. To ensure your car's oil level is correct, follow these steps. Firstly, remove it from the jack stands or ramps and have it on level ground. Start the car and let it run for 60 seconds. Then turn the car off and wait a couple of minutes for oil to find its way back to the sump. Remove the dipstick and clean it with a rag and put it back in place before removing it again for accurate reading. The oil level should be between the two markers, but make sure to check your owner's manual for specific instructions, as every car is different. If the oil level is low, top up your oil and recheck the levels until you reach the desired oil level. Disposing of used oil and fluids incorrectly can pollute land, water and infrastructure, so it's essential that you dispose or recycle used oil correctly. Now, there are plenty of used oil recycling stations located around Australia. Some locations will take your oil filters, oily rags and plastic oil containers, so make sure you check that out when you recycle your oil. Thanks for joining us here in the Newlawn Garage. Go and check out some more videos on how to service your car at home for more DIY tips.